Hello everyone, welcome back. So today we'll be restricting the network access to Paas resources with virtual network service endpoints. So I've already created this to save the time, and let me show what I have created. So the tasks that we're going to perform in this case are: first we're going to create the virtual network, and then we're going to enable the service endpoint. Then we're going to restrict network access for the subnet and add additional outbound rules, and we'll be accessing the RDP connections. And we will also create a file share in the storage account, then restrict the network access to the subnet, and create a virtual machine, then give the access to the storage account, and finally we're going to clean up the resources. So let's go ahead and start for that. So initially we have to create the virtual network. So for that you can search here. So we have the virtual networks. So I've already created one, so let me show you how I have created that. So this is the one that I have created. So to create the virtual machine, just click create, and select the appropriate Azure resources. In this case I have already created resource group, which is my resource group. If you don't have any, click new and add this name here and just click OK. And the region will be East US, and coming to the name that we have given in this case is this is the name that we have given. We are getting error because it has already been created, so you can click one just to keep the variation, and then go to the IP addresses, and in this case the IP address for the previous one was this. Make sure it is this one, and you'll be getting a default here. So if it is there, just click and change it. So in this case I don't have any, so I'm just adding a subnet, and coming to the subnet name, that would be a public. So I'm just adding that public, and coming to the range, so this is the range for this subnet, and just click add. So once this is done, create the resources and make sure everything is disabled, and create the resources. In this case we'll be getting error because we already have the subnet. So pretty much this is what we have done in this case. So once the virtual network is done, we have to create a service endpoint. So service endpoint allows virtual network resources to use private IP address to connect to the Azure service public endpoint. So this one, and let's go and create one. So once you have done it, you can just click this virtual network, and here you can see there is a subnets. Click that. Initially you will be having only public, so this is the one that I have created private according to the Microsoft Docs. So you can click it, and these are the configurations related to that. Make sure you also select this service, which is Microsoft Storage, and once it is done, save and create. So this is the task 2, and coming to the task 3, that is restrict network access for the subnet. So in this case we have to create the network security groups, NSGs. So for that you can search for security groups, where you can see here there is a network security groups. Click that, and we already created one. Let me show you how I have created that. So just click create, and select the appropriate Azure Paas, and select the appropriate resources, and coming to the name, it's the name that we have given, and make sure you select the region, which is East US, that we have selected for the previous one. Make sure it's one, and just review and create. So once this is done, we have to create the outbound rules. So let's go to the NSG. So you can see here so you can see the outbound rules here. So these are the 2 rules that we have created, and these are the other default rules that we have. So make sure you also create this. For that just click add and select accordingly. So this is the priority here, and just change the name accordingly. So yeah, these are the 2. One is for allow, one is for deny. So once this is done, just go to the inbound rules. So this is the one that we have created, which is for allow. Make sure you use this inbound rule. So if you have any doubt, you can check the docs. So once it's done, you have to associate to the subnets. So go to the subnets, and we have already associated here. So just need to click associate and select the appropriate virtual network here, which is this, and select the appropriate subnet. In this case, we have selected the private. So it's done. So once you associate is done, the next task is 6, which is restricting the network access to the resources. So for that, we have to go to the storage accounts. So there we go. So I've already created a storage account, which is this one. So let me show you how I have created this one. Select the appropriate pass, select the appropriate resource group, and coming to the name of this, let me and you can keep some numbers like your initials, just to keep it different, and East US, and make sure it's LRS, which is the cheapest one. And once it's done, just review and create it. And once it's done, this is the one, and go to the file share. Where is it? There we go. And this is the one that we have created. So you just need to click file share and add the name. In this case, it's marketing, and just click create, and just keep the default one, which is transaction optimized. So once it's done, the next thing is we have to restrict the network access to the subnet. So here you can see the networking, click that, and initially it will be enabled from all the networks. You have to select the enable from the selected virtual networks and the IP addresses, and select the existing one. Just click and select the existing one that we have here, and select the appropriate subscription as well. So once it's done, just click save. And once it's done, the next thing is you have to go to the access keys. So make sure you copy this, because it will be useful in the next task. So once you have saved it, the next thing is we have to create the virtual machines. So the one way that we can create the virtual machines is using Cloud Shell. So let me show you the command. So this is the command that we use to create the VMs. So initially you have to upload the files, relevant files, and then you have to use that command. So you can also create on your own like virtual machine instead of using the Cloud Shell. So the documents that we're gonna upload here are these are the 2 documents that we're gonna upload. So you can see the parameters here. So the first machine name is the first VM name is this, and the second is private, the first is public, and this is the username and password for that. So based on the parameters here, you can create on your own instead of using the Cloud Shell. So it depends on you. So once it's done, the next stage is we have to confirm the access to the storage account. So for that, we have to access the virtual machines. So let me go to the virtual machines here. So we have 2 different virtual machines. One is public and one is the private one. So let's go to the private, and here we have to map with Azure File Share. So first let's connect this one, and download. Click connect. Coming to the test user, I guess I deleted that. Okay. So we have seen the password, right? So let me copy it from the JSON file. So just paste it and connect. So this is the one that we have used. So I've already used the command here. So this is the command that we have to use. So let me share that command, which is there in the docs. Okay. So this is the command. So you have to name it to your storage account. In this case, let me show you mine. So if you go to the resource groups, this is the one, and this is my storage account name. So make sure you paste here, and similarly here. Here you have to paste the key that I like, which is in the access keys. So you have to paste the access key here, and similarly you have to paste the storage account name. So I have pasted accordingly, and it was successful. And when you try to ping, it was not able to do that, and our rules are working successfully. So this completes the stage, the tasks 10. And similarly you can perform the same command in the other virtual machine, and there you can just see whether we are getting access or not. So this is pretty much from now. You can download the other VM, and you can test on that as well. So I hope you guys have understood the concept, and if you like the video, please click like button below, and if you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. And thank you guys, and don't forget to delete the resources.